According to the report of the Los Angeles Police Commission, at 3:45 a.m. on February 6, 2005, LAPD officers initiated a high-speed pursuit of a red Toyota Camry on the streets of Los Angeles. The pursuit lasted approximately 7 minutes. The driver of the Toyota lost control of the vehicle, hit the curb, went up onto the sidewalk, struck a wrought iron fence, and then came to a stop. The driver then accelerated the car in reverse, ramming the patrol car. The Toyota hit the patrol car in the right front fender and continued scraping along the side of the patrol car. The officer on that side of the car, believing he was about to be struck, fired 10 shots at the driver of the Toyota. 7 of the shots struck the driver, causing his death. Completely unknown to the officers was the driver of the Toyota was a 13-year-old boy, Devin Brown. For some reason, the police commission got deeply involved in this officer-involved shooting and overruled the findings of the police department. They declared that the use of force was out of policy and ordered disciplinary action against the officer. We asked Chief Bratton to explain what happened.
There's a process that is followed for any officer-involved shooting or any significant use of force. The process for the incident involving Devin Brown was exactly the same as we would use for any other situation. It was a more complex case, a lot more forensic type of investigation required, and it was probably one of the most comprehensive in terms of the totality of things that were done, particularly the scientific investigation. Based on our investigation, as well as all the scientific evidence that was presented and extensive briefings, that it was the recommendation of our use of force board that Assistant Chief Jim McDonald chairs. Their recommendation to me, the majority recommendation, was that the shooting was in policy. The administrative investigation determines, is it in policy with the policies of the department. There was a minority opinion from one member of the board that I also reviewed, but did not go in favor of the minority opinion. I then made my recommendations to the Police Commission, and Police Commission, by a vote of 4-1, made a determination that from their perspective the shooting was out of policy. They are the final determinant as it relates to policy.
The Police Commission is composed primarily of police reformers from the criminal defense perspective, with only one commissioner, a reserve police officer, who has tactical street experience. We questioned Chief Bratton if he thinks his bosses, the commissioners, have suitable experience to sit in judgment of police officers who face life and death situations.
I believe they do. They're a highly skilled group. You have a former U.S. attorney. You have a former assistant U.S. attorney. Both of them worked on Christopher Commission-related matters. They have certainly as attorneys, they have the ability to examine information and make a decision. We have a very significant businesswoman that she runs all of the Wells Fargo operations for Southern California, and John Mack, who is the president. That it is a very good commission, and they are charged with being presented a large amount of information and then making a decision based on that information. So do they have the expertise that I would have? No, but they're not required to. And for the purposes of the decisions they have to make, it's not necessarily necessary.
The decision of whether or not a shooting is within police policy is a critically important decision that could dramatically affect the community, could whip up a firestorm of negative publicity from the media, and could ruin the life of a police officer being judged. We asked Chief Bratton how these pressures affect his decision on shooting policy.
The idea is that all of that is extraneous to the decisions you have to make. You make your decisions, you're aware certainly of impact on community, on police officers, media coverage. The reality is that when you sit down to make these decisions, you are to make an informed, objective decision, free of any political pressure, if you will, or community pressure. So that in this instance, as in any case that I deal with, it's made based on my interpretation of the facts that are presented to me, And similarly, that it is expected that the police commission would make their determination based on the facts in front of them and extraneous of any of the political or media or community concerns that might be voiced.
We asked Chief Bratton if he thinks the current system is a good way to monitor and evaluate his officers.
No system is perfect. The one we have is the one prescribed by law. It is what it is. And whether people like it or not, it is what it is. And it is intended to be, to the best of our capabilities, a fair one. We're trying to make it a more open or transparent one. And it is one that, like every system, has its limitations or potential flaws. But again, I'm very comfortable, based on my observation of the Commission, that they made a strong, good faith effort and certainly put a lot of time into arriving at their decision.
But how about the morale of his officers? They are judged after the fact. Wouldn't this make them hesitant to act in a crisis situation? We asked Chief Bratton if he worries about officers becoming discouraged by rulings like this.
No. I don't. In terms of individual officers may be concerned about this, but they go out and do their job. And in the several days since the decision was handed down, we've had exceptional acts of heroism on the part of our officers, both on duty and off duty. 3 that I'm aware of in just a short period of time prior to this interview. One as recently as 10 minutes before this interview, in which officers are out in the street putting their lives on the line. Discouraged in terms of concerned, yes, maybe upset, but I don't think it precludes them or prevents them from going out and doing what they're expected to do, which is to perform as Los Angeles police officers. And the public, sometimes I don't think fully appreciates just how committed and dedicated this workforce is in the face of great adversity. Not enough of them, probably not receiving benefits commensurate with what some of their colleagues get in surrounding areas, and from time to time when decisions go against them. But this is not this is the real world. Not everything goes your way. And we will look at each of these incidents based on the facts and circumstances of the incident.
You can see how important the members of the Police Commission are when they sit in judgment of a police officer's actions. They are appointed by the mayor, and their decisions impact the community, the police officers, and the department policy. We want to know what you think. What, if any, qualifications should there be to be appointed by the mayor to the Police Commission? Should police commissioners have some background experience and understanding of the responsibility and risk to police officers? Yes or no? What background is best suited to be appointed a police commissioner by the mayor? Vote for 1. A retired police officer? A criminal defense attorney or ACLU? A business and professional executive? Or a political contributor to the mayor? Please vote for 1 and participate in our survey, and be sure to leave your comments below. Thank you.